Hello, it should just be 5 o'clock. I've come back again for a second go. I hope you enjoyed yesterday. So we're going to go through the same sort of exercises we did yesterday. The pattern will be, we'll do a series of the same exercises and we'll progress through the sessions as we go, as your body is adapting and adjusting to what we're doing. So what you'll need, again, is a stable surface like your kitchen worktop, or a dining room chair you can hold onto the back of or rest your hand on the back of, and a bit of space on the floor. Some of the exercises on the floor you can do on the bed, but like I said yesterday, that might not work for today. I'm still trying to fiddle a bit with the camera angles because I had a look at the video yesterday and realised that unless you actually press on the picture, my head's chopped off. So hopefully I've adjusted for that today. So let's get started. So if you're ready, I want to get you stood up. I'm in my running kit today, so I'm going running later for my bit of exercise. So standing nice and tall, we're just going to get the shoulders moving. We're starting with the upper body, just a bit of shoulder shrugging, moving those shoulders back and around, so just rotating the shoulders. You probably hear a bit of grunching and clicking and popping. As long as it's not painful, that's okay. Like I said yesterday, none of these exercises should cause you any pain and or cause you any new symptoms. So if you've got a bit of stiff neck, what you may find is you get to the point of your stiffness. So if you're turning your head, so we're going to do head range of movement now and stretch the neck. You may find as you get to the end of range of your range, you get a bit of discomfort through the neck on one side or the other. Just take it to that point, don't push into it. Pain is not gain in this instance. So looking forward, turning to the other way, just let the neck relax into that position, take it to the point where you feel a bit of discomfort. Looking forward, so rotating your head, circles, just to stretch out that back, get things moving. Standing, feet about hip width apart, nice stable base, when you're just side bending, getting things moving through your upper back. So a lot of my mobility stuff is for your upper back, mainly because if we're sat for long periods, this tends to get neglected. For example, if we're sat and we're on a computer and you're in this position, or you're driving for long periods, everything's being pulled forward. So a lot of my mobility stuff is trying to open your chest out, get a bit of extension through the thoracic spine and get things moving. Okay, so just a little bit of range of movement, nice and slow, calm and controlled. So this one we're going to do is called the snow globe. So you need a bit of head room if you can lift your arms up comfortably up to that point. So I would take my arms up and over. So you're painting the inside of this snow globe. If you find you're not comfortable doing over the head movement and you're more comfortable at 90 degrees because of shoulder problems or reduced range of movement, that's fine. Just go to the point at which it's comfortable. Let your head follow your hand around, so you're really getting the movement through your thoracic spine, and let your arm cover the whole of this globe we're stood in. Okay, so other side, if you can do the full range, then take your arm above your head, follow your hand with your eyes, so you're really moving that thoracic spine. If you're better off at 90 degrees, start there. Still getting the range of movement through your thoracic spine, so your upper back is still benefiting. So this is a good exercise, again, to do if you've been sat for long periods. If you notice as you're lifting your arm up, there's a bit of extension through your thoracic spine as you're leaning back. Again, none of this should cause you pain. None of this is for rehabilitation, especially not without some sort of assessment to start with. So there's your mobility, got the upper back moving. We're going to go on to strength training. So like I said yesterday, it's very important that we keep our muscular strength, our muscle tone, especially as we get into our 40s, 50s and 60s. Unfortunately, as I've noticed, your muscle strength and tone drops off a cliff edge, so it's harder work to maintain. So we're going to do a press up against the worktop. I'm going to just demonstrate first. So you're going to rest your hands on the worktop. Stand as close or as far away as you're comfortable, depending on how strong you feel you are. If you need a little bit of a chance to get used to this exercise, stand closer, so you're only doing a slight movement and some of the weight of your body is on your hands. So you might do 10 like this. If you're a bit stronger and a bit more confident of your upper body and you want to push yourself a little bit more, step further away so you're taking more of your body weight on your arms. So I would aim to do 8 to 10 to start with, building up towards 20. So then 3. You want to keep your lower abs, so your tummy muscles a little bit taut as you're doing this. So you're holding your tummy in and your nice straight line. Don't fold in the middle. If you're doing that, you need to come a little bit closer so you can keep your body in a straight, firm line. Okay, so that's your upper body. So next exercise is the sit to stand. So this is a starting of a squat exercise. You want your chair and you want to sit towards the edge of the chair. So you've got plenty of space. I don't want you sat right back into the back of the seat because we're not having a rest. We're doing some work. So feet under your knees. If possible, don't use your hands. Get your hands out of the way onto your chest. If you do need the support of your hands, just have a glancing touch. Okay, so hands over your chest, feet square, toes pointing forward. We're just going to do up to 10 of these, but eventually working towards 20. So ideally, you would do these exercises several times a week, 4 or 5 times a week, which would help maintain your strength, mobility and flexibility. And you'd have a couple of recovery days where you might take a day off, do something entirely different. So I've completely lost count now. I think that's 10. I'll go with that. Okay, so that's for your hips, bottom and thighs. And we're going to move on to leg raises or leg abductions at the kitchen worktop. Now, you're using this like a bar, like ballerinas do. So you're resting your fingertips on the worktop, stood with your weight on one leg, nice and tall through your body. So when you lift your leg, your body stays still. You're not doing this. That's not a leg exercise in this instance. What you're going to do is nice tall upright body, lifting your leg out and slightly behind you. So I'm going at about a 45-degree angle to my body. This makes your bottom work, your glutes work, helps provide a bit of stability for your thigh bone. Again, you're aiming for 10 on either side. I'm going to say that's 9, 10. So same again the other side. Transfer your weight. Take your weight over. Again, you're going at 45 degrees. So pointing your toe out behind you. This is very good for, as you get a little bit older, lateral hip pain. So if you're getting pain coming around here when you're moving or walking, this just provides a bit of strength to that area and to the pelvis. Nine, 10. I'm really sorry, I've completely lost count tonight of what exercises I'm doing, of the number I'm doing. So this time we're doing straight leg raise. So I'm just going to adjust the camera ever so slightly. So lying on your back, you're going to lift one leg up straight in the air and point towards the ceiling. No bending at the knee. To have it a little bit easier, you can rest your foot for a moment and lift again. Make sure your lower abs are slightly taut and your back is flat against the floor. If you want a little bit harder, don't rest your foot. So we're going to do 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and swap sides. So again, this is another very good exercise for strengthening the thigh, giving you that stability around the hip, giving you confidence when you're walking about, when you're getting up out of chairs. Just gives you that bit of strength so that you are less inclined to have a fall and cause yourself some real damage. 7, 8, 9, 10. So ideally you're doing 10 to 20 of those. So that's straight leg raise. Then we're going to do a prone Superman. So again, these can be done on the bed if you can't get down and up and down off the floor very easily. So lying face down, arms out in front of you. Don't see my arms. So opposite arm to opposite leg. So I'm doing my right arm and lifting my left leg. And this is working the back muscles, upper back and lower back. If it's a little bit too much to do arm and leg at the same time, do one arm and then move on to the other arm. Or you could start off doing a couple of repetitions and then take the leg out of it and just work the arm. So all these strength exercises, I'm starting off with 10 repetitions. Don't worry, this is all just to maintain muscle tone, not develop any huge bulky muscles. We don't do enough and we're not working hard enough for that. This is just a low level exercise to get you working those muscle groups. So I apologise if you can't see my arms when I'm doing that. So finally, on the strength, we're going to do a bridge. So lying flat on your back, feet about hip width apart, hands flat on the floor, looking to the ceiling, low back in touch with the floor. You're going to clench your bottom, tighten your lower abs and lift your hips. So you look like a wedge of cheese on the floor. And then you're going to curl your back down. So you go vertebra by vertebra, back to the floor and relax. And we do it again, clench your bottom, clench your lower abs, lift your hips. And hold for a few breaths and then lower vertebra by vertebra down to the floor and relax. This technique, this exercise, is much more about technique rather than number. Okay, so in this position we can move on to stretching. So we start off with just a simple knee hug that just stretches out the low back. You might feel it a little bit into the glutes, but mainly it's just getting the lumbar spine to flex and go the opposite way to what we're doing when we stand all the time. From that position, what's quite nice is bring your feet down and then let your knees drop to the side and leave your body facing the ceiling. Keep your feet together if you can. Just let your knees relax into that. You're going to hold these for 15-25 seconds. Some of them are quite nice for 30 seconds. It's just giving the body a chance to relax those muscle groups. So change sides. Hold 15-20 seconds, 25 seconds. Lovely. Coming back up. So stretching out the lumbar spine, stretching out the glutes. Next, we're going to sit on the stairs and stretch your gluteal muscles because we worked them a little bit today. So opposite foot onto your sitting knee, and you're going to sit and turn into that stretch, and you'll feel it into your bottom and the side of your thigh. I'm going to just change so you can see what I'm doing. Opposite foot onto opposite knee and hug that knee and turn your shoulder into it. Okay, make sure you do it both sides. Again, you should just feel it down the side of the leg, nothing particularly uncomfortable. They might even feel quite nice on these stretches, or relaxing, or allowing you to just let your muscles go. Next we're going to move on to hip flexor stretch. So the muscles that pull your low back forward and bring your knee to your chest. So when you're sat a long time, these can get tight and short. If you're a big exerciser or big gardener and you're in a bent forward position a lot, these can get strong and tight. So we're going to work on stretching those out. So two ways you can do this. If you need a bit of support because you don't like being on the floor, use the chair, rest your shin on the chair, leave your knee behind and just bring your weight forward. So you should feel it down the front of that thigh. If you are comfortable getting up and down off the floor, use a pillow you don't mind having on the floor and put your knee on that pillow and just bring it forward. It's just slightly stronger when you're on the floor in that position than it is on the chair, but they both are equally feelable. You are aware you're doing the stretch. Okay, so again, you're holding them for 15-20 seconds. And move that out of the way. So now we're going to stand nice and tall. We're going to stretch out the front of the chest, and again, it's encouraging that kind of movement of stretching everything out so that you can bring yourself back into an upright posture comfortably. So rest your hands on your bottom, bring your elbows back behind you, or link your hands behind you and bring your hands back, whichever you're comfortable with. Again, it's not about causing pain or discomfort, it's about just feeling that stretch across the front of the chest. Then we're going to do a neck stretch. So standing square, just let your head drop to the side. You'll feel tightness running down the neck into the top of the shoulder. Nothing should go down into the arms, and you shouldn't really get a headache from this. Just might feel a little bit tight there. And then let your nose drop forward, and the tightness moves around the back of the neck into the top of the shoulder. Bring your head up and repeat the same on the side. It's very common for you to feel more tightness on one side than the other. So on me, this feels really tight on this side. Let your nose drop forward. But as long as it's not painful, the tightness is often an indicator of which is your stronger side, which side you use a bit more. So all the stretches you hold for 15 to 25 seconds, just give the body a chance to relax in that position. So finally, we're just going to work a little bit on balance. This is kind of the important bit about helping you maintain some level of fitness in this period of time where we're kind of in this lockdown. So it's the balance bit will help your brain know where your body is in space, and hopefully mean you are less inclined to have falls. So straightforward, you can either use a chair as support, so you might just like having the fingertip support there, and standing on one leg with your other foot just resting so that you have a bit of balance support if you like. If that's too easy and you can do that quite comfortably, maybe you lift your leg up and just rest your fingers on the chair. If that's okay and you want to make yourself have a bit more of a challenge, then just rest your fingers on, get your balance, take your fingers off. Are you going all over the place? Are you wobbling a lot? If you need to readjust, and just touch the top again, get your balance and try again. If that's really easy and you want a much more of a challenge, just have that there in case you need it, and just stand and balance. Okay, and you're going to do that both sides. So I'm going to take my weight onto my left leg, rest my toes on the floor, and then take my toe off the floor, and then take my hand off the chair. So that's the stages to building up. That's quite a nice exercise to do when you're waiting for the kettle to boil, cleaning your teeth. It just is something to do in those few dead minutes when we're not doing a great deal. So thank you very much for returning. I'm going to try and do this Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 5 o'clock. If you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear it, either on the comments on the Facebook or email me. I'll give you the email address in a minute. If you want to email me or ask any questions about any issues you are concerned about, or you want some advice, then please email me at info@stonehengeosteopath.co.uk. Thank you very much.